The man who built his own river. Lucien was 26 years old, and for the past 11 years, he had carried buckets of water. That is the first thing you should know about him. Not that he was poor. Many people in his village lived in poverty. Not that he worked hard. The village was filled with hard-working men and women. What made Lucien different was the number of years he had spent living the exact same day. 11 years of carrying the same 2 buckets. 11 years of walking the same narrow path to the river. 11 years of feeling the same dull ache settle into his lower back every afternoon until sleep finally took it away. His work was simple. Before sunrise, while the river was still cold enough to numb his fingers, Lucien filled 2 heavy buckets with water. He carried them through the quiet village streets, past sleeping homes, stopping at the same doors every morning. Mrs. Sharma needed 2 buckets for her kitchen. Old Mr. Das needed 1 for his garden. The tea stall on the corner ordered 3 buckets without fail. Before most people had even opened their eyes, Lucien had already completed 4 trips. By noon, 7. By evening, while the other young men laughed together over tea, talking about cricket, marriage, and dreams, Lucien was still walking. Years of carrying water had bent his shoulders forward. His palms were rough, cracked, and scarred from endless labor. He always earned enough. Enough for today. Enough for this Wednesday. Enough for that Friday. But never enough for tomorrow. Every new week found his pockets empty again. Every sunrise demanded that he pick up the same buckets and begin all over. It was a life that never moved forward. One evening, Lucien returned home to find his mother sitting quietly in darkness. The oil lamp had gone out. She didn't complain. She never did. She simply rubbed her aching knuckles in silence while the fading daylight slipped through the window. Without hesitation, Lucien turned around and walked back to the market. He spent every coin he had earned that day on a small tin of lamp oil. As he watched the tiny flame come alive, something inside him broke. 11 years of relentless work, and 1 bottle of oil had emptied his pockets. He stepped outside and sat alone on the old stone step. A few moments later, his grandfather slowly lowered himself beside him. His aging knees cracked like dry branches. Neither of them spoke. Dust drifted across the road. Somewhere in the distance, a dog barked twice before silence returned. Finally, Lucien whispered, "I don't understand. I work harder than anyone in this village. Ask anyone. They'll tell you." His grandfather nodded. "They will." "Then why am I still stuck?" The old man looked at him with calm eyes. There was no pity in them, only wisdom. The quiet patience of a man who had been waiting years for this very question. Finally, he stood. "Come with me. There is something you need to see." They walked beyond the last row of houses, until they reached a small home Lucien had passed hundreds of times without ever noticing. The house looked ordinary. Mud walls, a thatched roof, nothing special. But beside it stretched a narrow channel carved into the earth. Fresh river water flowed gently through it toward a small pond. No one carried it, no one lifted it. It simply flowed. Lucien stared in amazement. Who built this? His grandfather smiled. A man who used to carry buckets. Years ago, every afternoon while everyone else rested, he came here with nothing but a spade. He dug for 1 hour every single day. People laughed at him. They said he was wasting his time. Even his wife worried he had lost his mind. But he kept digging. The old man knelt and touched the edge of the channel. And then one day, the river found the path he had prepared. From that morning on, he never carried another bucket. Not because luck found him, not because someone rescued him, but because he spent 1 hour every day building something that would eventually work without him. Lucien stood speechless. His grandfather continued, "There are millions of bucket carriers in this world. They spend every day chasing wages. They run after money like a dog chasing a cart. When the day ends, the cart is still moving, and only the dog is exhausted." Then he pointed toward the flowing water. But the man who built this channel stopped chasing. He built something, and now the water comes to him. While he sleeps, while he eats, while he sits outside watching the sunset. He isn't smarter than you, Lucien. He isn't stronger. He simply stopped running long enough to build. That night, Lucien couldn't sleep. His mind replayed every year, every trip to the river, every coin that disappeared, every morning that looked exactly like the last. At sunrise, he followed his usual routine. He carried water, made his deliveries, collected his wages. But when the afternoon heat settled over the village, and the other workers rested beneath the trees, Lucien borrowed an old rusted spade from behind the tea stall. He walked to a quiet bend in the river. He knelt in the wet earth and began to dig. The villagers laughed. "Look, Lucien the mud digger. Have you found treasure yet?" He never answered. He simply kept digging. 1 hour every day. Every single day. The first 2 weeks brought nothing except blisters and sore muscles. The trench was barely visible, but he kept digging. By the third week, it had become a proper channel. By the fourth week, it reached his small piece of land. Then, on the 31st day, Lucien removed the final handful of soil. The river rushed forward, slowly at first, then steadily, then powerfully. Water flowed through the channel he had built with his own hands. Lucien stood silently, mud covering his arms, watching water he no longer had to carry. He didn't shout. He didn't celebrate. He simply smiled. It felt as though a door locked for 11 years had finally opened. That evening, he sat once again on the old stone step. His grandfather joined him. "So?" the old man asked. Lucien nodded. "For all these years." I believe the answer was working harder. "And now?" Lucien looked toward the flowing water and quietly replied, "Now I understand. You cannot outwork a system that was never designed to set you free. You must build your own." The old man smiled, a genuine smile, the kind that appears when wisdom has finally found fertile ground. Together, they sat in peaceful silence, listening to the gentle sound of water flowing on its own. And in that quiet moment, Lucien realized something he would never forget. The hardest worker is not always the one who succeeds. The one who succeeds is often the person who spends time building a path that continues to work long after the labor has ended. If this story inspired you, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment below. I will build my own path. Because your future changes the moment you stop carrying buckets and start building rivers.